Okay, guys.
Hello.
I have my Kathy shirt on.
Oh, how nice.
Someone in the live chat pointed out that we are wearing the exact same outfits that we wore for our very first live show.
Yes.
That was not planned, but it's a good chance to promote our show that's coming up in New York.
Yes. It's happening on August 30th at the Caveat Theater in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. You can get tickets at 2GayMatsLive.com. We would love to see you there. We're putting everything together. We're going to have a lot of news stories. We're going to go over, record the podcast live, argue about pop music, maybe even sing a song. And things are happening. The balls are rolling.
And we'll wear probably new outfits. Do you have an outfit planned?
I don't.
I'm going between two ideas.
I feel like we should stick to specific colors that match the song we're going to be singing.
You bitch. This is going to ruin my ideas.
Just an idea. You don't have to.
I could put something on.
You could.
Like a boa.
Yeah, you could. Well, don't give away the farm.
Okay.
Yes, you could put something on.
I'll put something on. Guys, there's going to be props in this show. And you know I love a prop.
Props is strong. It'll just be like what I'm wearing.
Props, special effects. We're going to fly.
We're not going to fly. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Two Gay Mats, the podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And we are back again another week. And Matt Steele, how was your week?
It was good. It was very eventful. I saw some friends, did some things. I hung out with my friend Derek. What did I do this week? There was something very specific that I did. You go.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of it in my head.
I didn't do anything too crazy. You came over on Wednesday. We recorded our worst song video on YouTube where we discussed the worst songs of all time. So if you want to watch that, go to our YouTube channel right now. And we also recorded something very long for Patreon.
Very long.
Which is not out yet, but coming out soon. And then I went back down to Balboa for a second weekend with Jackson and his family. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice a little bit, but I've gotten just a teensy little bit of a cold.
You're the king of just like, I'm sick. Can't you tell? And it's like, bitch, no.
You always say you
fine.
can't tell. And that to me, it's like so very obvious. Like to me, like I have been in bed all day and been like, oh, really gearing up for my like 2 hours of work in the evening. I have, the brain fog. I just, I never feel my best when I am under the weather. And so I do think it's kind of good because it's like, okay, then I'll for sure be super healthy for the New York City live show in a couple of weeks. But even if it's the sniffles, I'm like, I must take to the bed. This is no time for me to be up and about. I must get my liquids, be in bed, and just be watching television.
And then me, there are moments where I feel completely fine, but like I lose my voice or something and I'm like, I feel fine. And you're like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, I swear.
I do think it's weird that your sickness is like, I think 9 times out of 10 usually just entail you losing your voice. Like you don't get super, like I'm always having a nasal problem.
If I do like have a sickness that like I truly feel,
Oh, I remember.
Like when I am sick, I am out. And it's like once every couple of years. But when it happens, the good Lord like smites me down.
Right. No, my sicknesses aren't terrible, but they just like, even if they're very slight, I'm like, can't do anything. But which is why it's impressive that I'm at the mic here. So everyone please clap because I am
a round of applause.
So brave.
Yes. I also this week I went to Brian, our friends Brian and Blythe. Their son had a birthday party.
Happy birthday.
3. Happy birthday to Milo.
Yes.
And something really amazing happened where I felt really talented. I showed up to the party and it was a Peanuts themed thing, like Peanuts, like the cartoon strip. And there was a little game, like there was a jar of peanuts and it was like, try to guess how many peanuts are in this thing. I showed up and it was like last minute. They were like, okay, 10 more minutes to guess how many peanuts. And I was like, ooh, let me do this real quick. I just picked a random number. Guess who won?
Really?
Me.
What was the number?
Oh, it was like 612 or something like that. And I guess like 590 or something like that. I think it's because I like picked the thing up and I was like, okay, this is about 8.2 ounces. And because I'm good, having been a person for the last 13 and a half years who works behind a bar and like makes milkshakes, I can pick something up and be like 9 ounces.
Really?
Like I absolutely know what 9 ounces feels like. And so I tried to calculate as like, how many peanuts does that mean in my head? But
is that helpful for when you're like going to get on an airplane and you want to make sure your bag is not like over 50 pounds?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good
at that. Are
you
good at that? Because that's always been something I've been concerned about. It's never really bitten me in the ass, but I know they make those things that you can like pick your bag up and like it'll measure like how much this weighs. And maybe I should get that. I don't know.
Are those things expensive?
I don't think so.
Just guess.
I know.
It'll be fine.
But what if I mess up one time and I have to pay an extra like $50?
No, then you take some stuff out, stick it in your backpack. You're good.
Okay. I get worried.
Fine. Also, my manager at my restaurant. Speaking of my restaurant, my manager is leaving. She's moving to Seattle, and so a couple days ago was her last day. And I mean, I've been with her since like close to the beginning. She's been with like another branch of my restaurant for the first 6 months I was working at my restaurant. And then when I was working there for 6 months, that's when she came in. So pretty much my entire time working there. So about 13 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she has literally kept me alive for the last 13 years, both like in an employed way and in like a life way. Like there were times where something was like, a little thing was like broken on like the bumper of my car or whatever. And she like crawled under my car to like zip tie it. Like truly the most capable woman on the planet. I've been begging her for years to run for office for something. So
is she going to do it?
I mean, you can tell she wants to.
She should.
She's incredible. Like she could truly, the way she's able to like have conversations and like truly like speak to and resonate with people of all different types and like kinds and creeds that come into the restaurant. Like she could really have an amazing umbrella of people that would vote for her because she appeals to everyone. She just has that gift.
I love it.
She's like truly the most capable human being like I've ever met. So we had like a goodbye thing for her. Like me and her and my other coworker Alicia, we went to Dave and Buster's and
that's fun.
Played a bunch of games and because that's like something that we've done for like each other's birthdays before. And so that was kind of like our place. So we did that one last time. Yeah. I'm actually going to give like the final goodbye to her after I'm done recording this podcast. I'm going to go down and like to my friend Alicia's and like, because she's having dinner with her now and like say goodbye. And everything.
That's nice.
So yeah, I did it like that this week. And yeah, it was a nice little week.
All right. Should we jump to the news for idiots?
I guess we can.
Okay.
There's not
a lot of
news.
That's
not to say that this podcast will not be entertaining.
Of course it will.
But it's not the highest stakes.
Did you see the new posters for the Wicked for Good movie?
Yep, that's our headliner, guys. That's our headliner.
Hey, people are excited. Apparently, there's a new teaser. I watched it just before we started recording the podcast. It's Ariana and Cynthia walking us through what the second half of Wicked is going to be like. John M. Chu is like, this is going to be very dramatic, a mature, retelling of the events of the second act and like the growth of their friendship and how can they remain in, friendship even though they've been pulled in such different directions because of the choices that they've made at the end of Act 1.
Yeah, essentially the second act of Wicked. Yeah.
No one's talking about the new songs though, which is what I'm most curious about.
Yeah, I want to know.
Someone tell me.
I'm sure they're going to drop that information slowly. Did you see the Ariana poster?
What, where she's kind of dancing or whatever?
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
There's some mistakes.
Oh, what mistakes?
Are a little suspect of
Wait, let me pull it up.
AI.
Do you mean like the green on her dress?
No, like here's an arm that's coming out somewhere here. The wheel, the spokes on the wheel aren't like see how the spokes aren't connected to the center really. It's a little
really. Ooh.
Which as someone who has produced a movie before, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But I think Universal has the budget where they could have,
if anything, made money last year. It would be Wicked.
Yeah, I think you could have paid for maybe like either a real wheel or a better or like some sort of a drawn.
I guess it's
thing.
the top ones that aren't touching that middle part. The top spokes.
No, the like see how like in the center the spokes aren't all connected to the center.
Yeah, but the bottom ones are kind of doing.
Yeah, the top ones.
It's the top ones that okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm seeing what you're seeing. Now. I didn't look as closely initially, and I was like,
they figured no one would. But these are Wicked fans, guys.
I know.
People are gonna.
Are they pissed? Deeply. Are the Wicked fans?
They don't care. Okay. They don't care. It's just like things you see online and people being like, okay. And like some of the monkeys that are flying are the exact same monkey.
In the Alphabet poster?
The Alphabet poster just like it tilted a little differently, which like I think that's a little more forgivable.
Right.
But I just think it's kind of funny.
I think that is funny. And speaking of cast members of Wicked, Cynthia Erivo headlined Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. And I feel like there were like 3 days last week where all I was seeing were videos of her performing with Adam Lambert and like the vocal masterclass that they put on. And good for them.
I mean, fuck. Good for everyone involved.
Yes.
That looked like a show.
Absolutely.
I mean, Cynthia is just like super inspired casting. I mean, Adam Lambert is fucking incredible.
Yes.
And so yeah, and I heard that everyone was really fantastic, and just like the few amount of people like being like, oh, I'm like, this is offensive. Like, how dare they do this to Jesus?
On.
And it's like, okay, guys, let's not pretend like Jesus hasn't been reinterpreted for literal millennia.
Exactly.
Like those pictures that were painted by, I don't know, Michelangelo or whatever, those were interpretations of a different type of Jesus. And I get like at the time, you know, the Italians, when they were painting the pictures of Jesus, they had probably Italian models that they had to use.
Sure.
That's why Jesus kind of looks like that. But let's not pretend like we haven't been changing how Jesus looks for quite a while now. So yeah, it looked like a great concert.
And I just need to give a shout out to our friends Natalia and Eric. Went and saw them at the Hollywood Bowl, so that was probably amazing. But also, Natalia texts me end of last week out of nowhere being like, hey, I got picked to be like, apparently she put in for the lottery of getting chapel tickets. She was going to be performing at the Rose Bowl, and she texted me and Jackson be like, hey, if I do get a chance to get these tickets, would you guys want to go with us? And I'm like, well, we spent our big money, I spent my big money on concert tickets with Beyonce this year, so I'm like, I don't know how much she's going to charge, but like if it's in the like $150 a ticket range, then like, yes, we'll go. But if it's more than that, find another couple, go with somebody else, it'll be better. She's like, the tickets are $134 a piece.
Okay, that's right
so
below.
I am going to be seeing Chapel Roan in October in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, and so I'm very excited. And I just also appreciate that apparently like the process of getting those tickets was so easy for the people that actually got picked for the lottery. And the fact that Chapel is so huge right now, she could be shaking us all down for these ticket prices.
Yeah.
And she chose not to. She's like, okay, I'm going to give these normal prices, general admission. I don't want it to be like prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
And so shout out.
This is for the normies.
Yes. I'm so happy to be a normie at Chapel Roan in October. So shout out to Natalia for getting these tickets, and shout out to Chapel Roan for not breaking the bank with the tickets, because I appreciate you both very much.
And shout out to you for being able to go.
I just received the text and was like, I would love to.
Shout out to Natalia.
I did the least out of all of us, but I'm happy to just be involved.
You know, we're happy to be invited.
And someone who's happy to be involved in season 2 of Wednesday is Miss Lady Gaga. And
that's right.
Apparently, because I was sitting here, I was on the way back from Balboa listening to Mayhem, and I was like, the fact there's not been a follow-up single to Abracadabra is criminal. Like, that was months and months and months ago. What is going on? And apparently, instead of pulling from her pre-existing Mayhem track list, Gaga is going to be releasing a brand new track, allegedly titled Dead Dance, for Netflix's Wednesday Part 2. And she apparently has shot a music video for this song, and it was shot by Tim Burton.
Lady Gaga in a video directed by Tim Burton.
Yes.
Why the fuck have we only thought of this now?
I don't know. It really should have happened during the Born This Way era, but it's never too late.
Sure.
The song and accompanying music video are expected to drop next month when Wednesday Part 2 is released. I'm excited for this. I am always wary of when we have a great album in our hands, when we go to like a deluxe edition, or like we're pulling from a different well.
When there's more singles to be had.
Garden of Eden. Zombie Boy. Vanish Into You, is that what it is?
Whatever.
Like, these are just sitting right there and ready to be hits.
They're right there.
And
so are we going to lose momentum?
I don't know. And I realize like Die With A Smile is still all over the radio. But I'm excited. Of course, I'm always excited for new shit. Excited for what Gaga's cooking up, because this era we have been very on board with the sound she's been giving us. Yeah. I just hope that this Dead Dance is as good as the other single-worthy track.
Killa.
Yeah. Hello? There's as Love Drug. You know, I feel like I'm the only one who's like, Love Drug is everything. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough as a culture.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Let's talk about it now. Justice for Love Drug.
All right, we're going to do a deep dive into Love Drug. That's what this podcast is all about.
Hey, we have no other stories really, so we could.
Guys.
No, we do. Olivia Rodrigo is seemingly teasing her third album. She wore at the end of her on the end of the Osheaga Festival, she wore a shirt with a 3 on it.
What is that?
I guess a festival.
All right, and Osheaga.
And this apparently was the final show of the Guts era, and then the number 3 makes us think, and she's wearing red, which is supposedly the new color for the new era, which like, glad it's not purple, girl, because it's been purple for 2 eras now.
I mean, it'd be kind of fun if she did purple for everything, like how Adele does numbers for everything.
I guess.
If that was her thing, she did purple. Yeah, but whatever. She can do what she wants.
If it's but the thing is, Matt Steele is of course one of the number one Olivia Rodrigo stands in our age bracket. Like he's like best artist of the 2000s.
Yep.
Olivia Rodrigo. Let's talk about it.
Yep.
But I mean, you can't listen to Sour and then Guts and not say that this girl has a vision, has a point of view, and has the songcraft.
It's just good. She's
just good, and she grew so much from that first album to the second.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see what she does next. I wonder if it's going to be a big Rocky moment because it seems like the Lollapalooza shows, like it seems like she's honing in more on her up tempos, more on those, rockier sounds, which is cool. But I love making the bed. Like I love a vampire. Love a ballad, and she knows how to do a ballad. She knows how to do a cutting ballad. We were all there the first time we heard Traitor. We were.
And so but I think she will. In Guts, I feel like the songs that like made the most impact of that era were the up tempo ones. You know? So I mean, Vampire was a number one hit, but like the next first like leading single off of that album, no matter what it was, would have been a big hit.
Yes,
considering how big Sour was.
Yes,
but I feel like the songs that like resonated with people the most in that era were the up-tempos.
Okay. I hear you, and I'm excited for whatever she has to give us, and I hope, again, much like we were hoping for Chapel, even though she then came out and said there's no second album.
Girl, like flat out. Yeah, probably like 5 years. And it's
that was so rude. Because we were like, we hope there's a release date for like this EP you're putting together or the second album. And she's like, oh, it doesn't exist. It hasn't been started. It took me 5 years to make the first album. It'll take me another 5 to make the next. And it's like, Chapel, I appreciate that you take your art seriously and don't want to put out something that's not, ready for prime time.
Yes.
But also...
But also, people, the public is dumb.
Yes.
And forgetful. And
now this is not just your full-time job. It's your full-time job that has made you a lot of money. So don't do any performing next year. Don't do any sort of festivals. Don't do anything. Just have your job make this album.
And also, everyone wants to work with you.
Yes.
Everyone will want to give you their best shit and have you build on that, or like collaborate, do whatever the song. I don't know what the songwriting process is in recorded music, but
I can promise you, if you work 40 hours a week making this record, you'll be done in less than a year. So just do that. That's my request.
40 hours a week?
Yes. Doable. We all work for 4 hours a week.
How long did it take to make B-Day?
Like a week, something like that.
And it's a masterpiece.
Well, that doesn't always work. But it works. Doesn't always work.
There are albums that were made in a short period of time where you could tell.
But that one, great.
Yeah.
But yes, so I don't even remember how I got into that. But I'm just saying I hope that we get an Olivia Rodrigo album sooner rather than later, because apparently Chapel's not coming back to us for a while. So we'll just have to keep playing the subway on loop.
Yeah, I appreciate Olivia coming out with another course and another course and another course of food for us to eat.
Absolutely.
If Chapel's going to be in the kitchen for as long as she is.
Did you see the Mariah quote? When she was
Guys, one of our stories is just...
Mariah's not going to space.
And Mariah and I have that in common.
Yes. She was sitting down. She's doing a press tour in the UK, and she sat down with, I believe, the interviewer's name is Scott Mills. And he's asking her just random pop culture questions, which, by the way, I have known since... I think it was when she was promoting Mia and Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse, and she didn't know what Drunken Love by Beyonce was. It's like, Mariah's not engaging with pop culture. She's not listening to pop radio. She's just
she's watching 2 Gay Mats.
She's
or at least she looked at a clip of us.
Yes.
For at least a second.
Which I will take.
We'll take that.
She will engage in content that has to do with her, but she is not going to be engaged. Because why would she care?
Yeah.
And so the guy was like, would you fancy going to space like Katy Perry did? Mariah goes, did she go to space? Where'd she go? And Scott goes,
where'd she go?
Space. And then someone in the back was like, so was she just floating around out there? And then someone was like, she went into orbit for a few minutes and then came back down. And then the Scott Mills, the interviewer, was like, so would you do it, Mariah? And she's like, I think I've done enough. Which is that not like the point of view we should all be having going into 2026?
Yeah.
It's just like, we have lived through enough in our lifetime. I don't need to fucking go
I don't need to go to space
and float around.
I'm not seeking that thrill.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I think I've done enough.
I
mean, if those are not like beautiful, like a way to look at your life and be like, I don't need to push myself to do some shit that I don't want to do.
And her expression when she's being asked, and it's just like totally like stone faced with her like big old sunglasses, just being like, I think I've done it. like just you can tell she's just like, oh, people are crazy.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not no astronaut.
No, she's like, I'm actually here to talk about my music.
Yeah, like,
but also I will say, if you've just seen the quotes, Mariah is not being shady to Katie in this competition, because she literally is like, oh well, good for her, go Katie. All right, Katie.
Yeah.
so it can look like, oh, she's going like, all right, Katie, but it's not that.
No, she's not. She's very much just like outer space.
And she's like, okay,
I would never.
Good for her.
Never. Absolutely not.
She's done enough.
I've done enough.
Haven't we all?
I've like the thrills Mariah Carey must have had in her life.
Absolutely.
I think she's not a thrill seeker.
No, I mean she'll go to Disneyland, and I think she'll ride a roller coaster. We've all saw the fantasy video.
I mean, she loved that roller coaster.
But yeah, I don't see her bopping around in space.
No,
that doesn't seem like her vibe, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Another news story that's literally just like, this artist is not doing X.
Sometimes artists don't do shit.
Yes, there were rumors floating around that Britney Spears was going to be performing at the MTV VMAs. She is not. And I thought it was best that I break the news. If anyone had that dream floating around in their head,
I don't think anyone actually thought this.
I think there are some delusional people out there who thought that.
Well, guys, true artists don't do anything.
Because they've done enough.
Because they've done enough. Artists have done enough.
Yes.
All right.
But then I will say I read the rest of this whole article, and the end of it said the VMAs will air September 7th on what channel?
Not MTV. I know that.
What? I didn't know that. They're called the MTV VMAs.
Yeah.
Like, they're on CBS, and I get it. Like, Paramount's the parent company, so like I understand why it's happening there. But like, I think the VMAs is the most like depressing. I mean, obviously MTV in general, that brand since we were kids, has like really gone down the tubes. But the VMAs were truly must-see TV when we were growing up. And now it's like the categories don't even make sense. Like, what do you mean best R&B song? What do you mean artist of the year? These are the Video Music Awards. Yeah. Every award should be about music videos.
And it kind of just feels like they're just giving nominations or awards to anyone who will show up.
Right. I'm happy Type Dangerous got a nomination for best R&B video song. Who knows?
Both. Best R&B. And Mariah Carey should just win best R&B.
She's never won a VMA. Did you know that?
What?
I know. Not once. Not for Heartbreaker. Not for Honey.
Oh my God.
Horrifying.
Oh
but
my God. That's why they're not appearing on MTV anymore, because MTV's too ashamed.
And I got it. Maybe this is the best time to throw this in. And if anyone's on TikTok, you probably have seen Ben Platt singing Diet Pepsi on the Las Culturistas Culture Award show on Bravo that aired last week. I must tell you guys, it is so much fun, that show. It was just like top to bottom, so ridiculous, poking fun at, award show culture, obviously, is the main bit. But it was like, I can't remember the last time I had so much fun watching an award show, just because the categories were all so ridiculous. And I also wondered, like, because some of the, not just the, like, the presenters had great lines. I'm like, obviously this was written. So, like, people, when Paige won the Allison Williams Cool Girl Award, Paige from Summer House, our queen who is a star, Matt still doesn't think so, and he's wrong.
I'm just saying, literally every time someone talks about a Bravo show, they're talking about some random girl who looks exactly like all the other girls, and they're just like, she's a star.
Paige is
like, what?
Paige is a star, but I also will say her speech was so fucking funny that I'm like, who wrote this? Like, someone wrote this for you, and I wonder.
So you're saying she's not a star? The people who wrote for her.
I think there are many stars. Like, people who star in movies don't write their lines, and are they not stars?
Okay, fair.
That's what Matt Steele's saying. Tom Hanks not a star. Anyways, all of the acceptance speeches were great. It was such a good mix of like actually reverent, like when Kenan Thompson won, I think he was Titan of Culture. And it was like a very sweet thing of like, we should be celebrating Kenan. He's been on our screens for decades and decades.
Yeah.
But it was a mix of that and like, a lesbian place in Provincetown winning and Anna Gasteyer going up as the lesbian being like, yeah, we won. It's just like, I think the silliness is what really brought me a lot of joy.
And that is why gays should host awards shows.
Absolutely.
Like, because now it's all like the award shows, like, and people who host the Oscars, like Conan did a great job, Jimmy Kimmel did a great job and everything.
Yes.
And like the people who host all these different award shows, though, like there's an air of like, we have to try to like, there's always like a gag of just like, well, we all know award shows suck now, but like, come on, guys. Like there's sort of like a self-deprecating thing with like straights hosting award shows right now and everything, whereas gays hosting award shows are just like, we fucking love award shows. Yeah. This is very fun to us, so we're gonna have fun. It's like even gay, like Rosie O'Donnell hosting the Tony Awards is the best thing ever because she is just so excited to be there.
Right.
Like Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers like are so excited to host an award show and just like have a chance to like award celebrities for stupid shit that doesn't really mean anything and have them appear on stage and just like have fun. Like this is what award shows should be. So like, okay, for like the Oscars or whatever, even if they're, it's a straight guy hosting, which it usually is, have some gays involved to be like, no, like lean into the fun of it.
Yes,
like,
this should be fun.
Yes.
In unfun straight news, Kevin Federline is promising answers as he announces his deeply personal new memoir, You Thought You Knew.
This is so interesting because artists right now are not doing anything.
Yes.
Non-artists are writing books.
They are really writing books. And it honestly just smacks of those kids are now 18 and you're not getting child support anymore. Sure. And so Kevin's got to get the money flowing in. And I get that on some level, but also like culture has moved so far beyond the need for Kevin Federline.
And also like culture is on Britney's side right now. Yes,
we're very team Britney. So
I mean, look, I guess if he wants to tell his side of the story, it's perfectly whatever. Okay, yes, he's allowed to do it.
Sure.
But
I won't be reading.
I'm not
going to be. I just need to point this out because it's very fucking weird. Apparently, for the third time in 1 week, a sex toy has been thrown onto a court that has interrupted a WNBA game. So now that the WNBA is becoming very big these days, for some reason, I assume men are coming to these games and throwing dildos onto the court. I guess because we're dealing with a bunch of women playing basketball, women they assume are lesbians and use these kind of sex toys. I don't know. I honestly don't know the thought process behind it, but it's like, A, this isn't funny. B, couldn't someone get very hurt?
Oh, I'm thinking of a girl running and slipping on that
exactly
thing, that big old purple dick.
Right, like someone could hit someone in the eye, and like it's just so disrespectful. You would never go to an NBA game and do this kind of bullshit. You're just doing it because they are women. It's just like, of course we know that the world is misogynistic and hates women, and like, maybe this is a part of homophobia, but it's weird to see it in your face like this, because it's like, wow. This has become like a thing y'all do, really.
And the fact that they're going so far out of their way to like, they could be throwing, and they shouldn't, but like, instead of like throwing something cheap out there, sex toys are expensive. Like they're spending all this money just to be a dick.
Just to be a dick and to make a joke at like who's laughing at this? At the expense of these people doing their jobs.
And like, it's like you bought the ticket to be there as well. So like, it's just a weird thing to do. Like you are so committed to like embarrassing these incredibly talented women, or like you're so dedicated to making this like awful shitty statement that you're going to spend all this money to then just like have people be like, okay, like it's like no one's responding well to this. Like you're just gonna get kicked out and never allowed back again.
I know.
It's what are we doing here?
I don't know.
Losers.
You're all losers. Yeah. I just hope you all know that. Speaking of, I won't even go into the story. Dean Cain, you're a fucking loser too. Fuck you. You're so weird.
Yeah.
Why I'm hearing a new story every week that I'm skipping about you saying something horrible or homophobic or anti-immigrant, and you're going to come out and say, oh, now I've joined ICE? What a fucking loser. Get a job. Aren't you an actor?
I mean, him saying all of these things is just like getting him more press than he's gotten in however many years. So,
But for what? Like, what's the end game? Like, are you... I don't understand you. I don't understand what you're doing, and I wish you would go away forever. Unfortunately, Hulu's going away forever. I like Hulu.
It really?
It's just becoming Disney Plus.
Oh.
They're all folding into Disney Plus. I always liked Hulu. I probably watch Hulu more than anything outside of Peacock. Like my streamers, number 1 Peacock, and number 2 Hulu. And like, I don't dislike Disney Plus. I'm sure I'll be fine, getting things from there. But like, that's how I watch my happy endings. That's how I watch my Abbott Elementary.
But you have Disney Plus, right?
I do, but...
So is this one less thing to pay for?
No, I'm sure the price is gonna... I'm sure I'll be paying for both of them.
Oh, Hulu has Top Model. Is Top Model going to Disney Plus?
I guess we'll see.
It fucking better.
I hope so. I hope so for you.
All right. Well, I don't even have Disney Plus. I have Hulu though.
Well, you might give it a couple years. You might not, because it's not going to be there.
And I say I have Hulu. Travis has Hulu.
Of course. I knew that's what you meant.
Yes.
Justice for Hulu. We'll miss you very much. Lastly, a story that really came out of nowhere last week and just really broke my heart for his family, for all the people involved. If you have not heard, Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, passed away from cancer at 48 last week. He is a talent manager, was a former talent manager of hers. They had a very acrimonious divorce, but were in love for a while and had two beautiful children who I believe are 9 and 11. And the fact that her kids are going through this, and like apparently he had cancer for 3 years or so. It just is so shocking and like so devastating, because I feel like there was always so many news stories going around, because she took maybe a month off of hosting her talk show this past spring, and then she obviously had the day before this announcement to postpone the rest of her August dates for her Las Vegas residency, and that was the first time she made even any mention of him being sick. She was like, my children's father is ill and I need to be there for them for this purpose. And then as soon as we hear that, the next news we get is the fact that he passed away at 48.
Yeah, and when she posted just my children's father, so I was just like, oh my God, like, I was just like, oh, something bad is happening.
I knew it was bad, but I guess because I don't know, I just haven't been keeping tabs on him in any way. I didn't think it would be so quick. I don't know. It just is devastating. 48 is not old at all.
Oh my God, no. And so, but you know, Kelly's there like for her kids and everything.
Of course.
And so, you know, this is a man who she was with for so long, you know, was very much in love with. And so that has to be so hard for her.
Yeah.
Like grappling with that.
Yeah. I'm sure she has super complicated feelings. I'm sure her first thought and focus is on her kids, but yeah, just, you know, I you know, am only thinking good thoughts for all the people that were in his life, all the people that are affected by this. Because yeah, even if they had this horrible divorce and, you know, he wasn't the best husband, I hope he was a great father, and those kids deserve to have a father.
I mean, piece by piece, Kelly said he's a great father.
Oh, well, those lyrics have been changed.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, all right. I don't remember
Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Yes, but she changed them honestly very recently again, because she was like, she changed them one time and she's like, these now feel a bit too much like a dig towards him, and I want it to be more about me. Okay. And like I can be everything I need to be for the family. So yes, the new lyrics. I feel like she doesn't want to obviously be saying shitty things about him at this stage in their lives, obviously. But yes, it's just a complicated situation, but very, very sad. Those poor kids. And everyone leave Kelly alone. Give her all the time she needs. I realize she has these live shows coming up. She has her shows probably going to come up back on air. If it's guest hosts, if the shows get delayed, like please be respectful. Because I would see people in the comments before this announcement, but just being completely disrespectful and like assuming the worst. And you just never know what people are going through. And we as a society need to be better about that.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people?
We love you all, and don't worry, we'll be back.
We will. We're
after
gonna take
these messages.
Yes, we'll take a quick break, then be back with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast. Hello.
All right, girls, we took our break. And
yes.
We're ready, and your mouth is warmed up. Your articulators are ready to give us
feeling good, yes.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to and or watching the podcast. If you enjoy us, please go to your Apple Podcast and or your Spotify and leave us a 5-star rating or review. It would help us so much. We want to make sure this podcast reaches as many eyes and ears as possible, and we do only accept 5 stars, so if you have anything negative to say, you've got to what? Keep it to yourself. Also come to our live show at the Caveat Theater in New York City on August 30th. You can get tickets at 2gaymatslive.com. We're recording the podcast live, arguing about pop music, and maybe even singing a song. Go join our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/2gaymats to get more bonus content from us on the regular. And Matt Steele,
yes.
What section of the podcast are we in?
We're on Email My Heart, and this is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. First question comes to us from our resident Forever by the Spice Girls stan, Lucero, who's talking with us in the chat right now, actually. And the question is getting through work. Oof. It's going to be a heavy one. Hi, how can I navigate work-related anxiety and not letting the constant working every day get to me? I like my job overall, but every Sunday, I dread going back the next day. I think I'm feeling it more since I started a new job, and the amount of things I have to learn is overwhelming. Wishing you the best. Yeah, Monday sucks.
Monday does suck. And I also think
Mondays at my restaurant job are my Fridays.
Oh, okay. So it's good for you.
Yeah, but they're always the worst shifts for some reason. I don't know. But still, Mondays for people with normal jobs, they suck.
Yes. I believe that half of your problem is the fact that this job is new. Like, and so you're at this job still learning and like getting your bearings as far as like, oh, this is how things work. Once you get into more of a routine and know exactly how the new company works and know what you're meant to do there, I feel like it's going to get easier and easier. I feel like everyone can probably relate to having the Sunday scaries. That's why that's a phrase in and of itself. But I think the anxiety around like, oh, I want to be good and make sure that I don't get fired because it's easier to fire me if you've just hired me because like you don't really need me yet. Soon you're going to get into a rhythm. You'll be able to show how, valuable you are as an employee. And, it'll become a little bit more like second nature or like it'll just like fit into your routine a little better. The fact that it is so new, I think is half the problem. And then the other half is that we just live in a capitalist society and we're all going to be on the rat race for a long, long time. And we can't fix that.
We just got to go to work.
Yes.
And take a deep breath.
Yes.
Let it all in. Feel all those halogens warming your skin.
And you've got to think about, you like having money. You love
having money.
You like having a place. You like being able to do the things
Hopefully you like your coworkers.
Yes, hopefully you like your coworkers. It's like, yes, it's a necessary, not evil. Not all work is evil, but it's a necessary part of life.
I'm sure you're doing something nice for your job,
Yeah, necessary part of life that's not like the most fun all the time.
Just know everyone's just as miserable as you. Like just in terms of like going to work on a Monday, just know we're all in this together. There's a little camaraderie there.
Yes.
But I remember like even as a kid, like Sunday nights, we're always just like, oh, it's Sunday night. It's like even like the television programming on Nickelodeon that would come on like at like after 6:00 on Sunday, like Nick News, like would always stress me out because it's like, oh, it's nighttime and tomorrow there's school.
School's coming.
And like, oh, I still have to do my homework from over the weekend. And just like, so yeah, it's kind of just like something that will kind of always be there.
Absolutely.
Just like the Mondayness of all Mondays.
Yes.
But just knowing that everyone's there with you hopefully makes you feel a little better.
Yes.
And you know what he says in terms of like when you're more comfortable with the job. It makes total sense.
And a commenter, Euro Cheese, has very good advice. They are saying you should schedule like a midweek or early week enjoyable things to do so you have something to look forward to. I think that's a great idea.
You know what? A lot of people, Mondays working at the restaurant and as the resident milkshake maker, Mondays are always by far my most shake-filled day.
Interesting.
I think people love coming in on a Monday and being like, it's Monday. I deserve a treat. And so they order a milkshake and I'm just like, well, you got your treat, but you're fucking me over.
What about me?
Because what about the shake maker, guys?
Hey.
So I feel like a lot of people do the like, I'm going to treat myself to a little something. I have something to look forward to on this Monday.
Mine is always Fridays. I don't know if that's weird, but I go not across town, but I go to my old neighborhood and get my favorite coffee that I used to get. And I just like drive and I'm like, oh, this is a great Friday treat. Something for me to look forward to.
I look forward to so much because like Sundays I work like doubles. And, I work at the restaurant in the morning and then I come here.
Yes, work.
This is work. This is my
work.
job. And
go to patreon.com/2gaymats to pay us.
So it's my only job.
Yes.
And so I always look forward to that boba that I get because I go to a specific boba place that allows me to bring like the big jug, the monster,
of course,
that has the biggest portion. So I'm always excited to like in between those jobs go into the boba place and then walk in with that big old thing in my hand and slurping up all that. I'm like, I look forward to this boba every week.
I love it.
Yeah, and like weeks where we don't have the podcast or whatever, I'm always just like, wait, but like I want to get my I want to get my big boba.
Can you still get it? Or wait, is it?
I can still get it, but it's not as it doesn't hit as much because it's like I'm not doing this to self-soothe. I'm just like feeling like a fat ass.
All right, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to say. Maybe treat yourself like every Monday. Maybe make a tradition where you do a little something that you enjoy doing at work or maybe after work that you look forward to.
I love that.
So it's like tricking yourself into making believe you're actually happy.
All right. And what's our next question? This one's getting a little dark.
Listen, this one comes from Lauren. It came from the chat, and it was like a half for me. It was any movies that I went into thinking I wouldn't like but ended up loving. And you could also answer it, Matt Palmer, for like any albums or whatever you thought you wouldn't like but ended up really loving.
Okay.
I have two answers. I feel like it happens quite a bit where I go into a movie being like, ugh, I have to like see that. Well, I have 3 actually. Where I go into it and I'm like, oh, I gotta see this because it's probably gonna be a big Oscar contender or whatever. Right. First one is Darkest Hour that came out in 2017, a Joe Wright movie. It was the last one I saw of that Oscar season, and it's basically about Winston Churchill and I went into it being like, oh, I'm going to find this so boring and everything, but I got to see it because he's a front runner for Best Leading Actor. And I fucking loved it. Loved it. Like Joe Wright's movies in general, I always go into and I'm just like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. And I always walk out loving them.
Wow.
So I need to learn more when he puts out movies. Like, you're going to this thinking you're going to like it.
Right.
But that's one of them. Mad Max Fury Road. I remember going in being like, oh God, like this big old action movie with all these big cars and all this shit flying. And I'm just like, and in the middle of it, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is one of the most thrilling things I've truly ever seen. Wow. And I was just like, I don't know exactly what's happening, but I am on this journey and I am invested. And the big one for me, y'all know I'm a Damien Chazelle fan.
No, didn't realize. What part of you didn't think you were going to like something of Damien Chazelle?
Okay. In 2014, Whiplash came out, and I was just like, oh my God, this is my favorite movie of the year. This changed my life. I loved Whiplash. And then La La Land was announced, and the trailer for La La Land came out, and I was kind of just like, okay, we're doing a throwback vibe. We're doing a pastiche thing. Like we're gonna pay homage to like this, and it was essentially covering like paying homage to like an era of film that when it comes, movie musicals are my favorite thing on the planet,
of course.
But I very much prefer movie musicals that are adapted from the stage, like Broadway shows, and seeing how they're translated to cinema, as opposed to movies that were written directly for the screen. Like I can acknowledge that they're incredible, but they're just not like my favorite thing. And La La Land was very much not just like an original movie musical that was written directly for the screen, but one that like very much commented and paid homage to those movie musicals as well. So I fully went into it being like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I am not going to like this and everything. And I was like, okay, Damien, I loved Whiplash, so you need to impress me. I went into it like a little bitch. And I was like, you need to impress me, Damien. And then I sat there and the opening number happened. And I just ate so much crow. In that moment, I was like, all right, that was probably the best thing I've ever seen. I guess I might enjoy the rest of the movie. And little did I know that the movie would just continuously get better and better and better.
Oh, Lord.
And I realized it was because the movie was so much more than just, ooh, we're referencing this. It's like, no, it's a very much a different thing that I could do a deep dive on here on this podcast.
I hope you don't. I could
write a thesis on the brilliance of La La Land because when that movie was over, I was like, my life has been changed. It's like it is an artistic experience that I will remember for the rest of my life, seeing for the first time.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
It is great, isn't it? Are there any albums for you?
Well, the first one that came up for me was Phoebe Bridgers. I really, loved that album from what was it, 2020? What was it called? The Phoebe Bridgers, Punisher. I think that is so incredibly good.
That's a great album
and so beautifully done. And like we had just gone through, some Taylor Woods eras kind of things. And I felt like, oh, maybe this is the sound that she was going for. And so I don't anticipate myself liking this. I think it was a patron request or something. And then once I got to that patron request, I was like, oh no, actually I love it. I remember why feels like a very specific part of the pandemic for me. Like a part of like my walking around ritual would include that album for every once in a while. And I really enjoyed that. I also, and maybe just was thinking about this because it is her boyfriend, but I still need to get into Inside by Bo Burnham, but for some reason I ran into a song that is on his Words album. It is a song entitled Art is Dead, and that is a song that I just remember hearing, and it's like a comedy song but kind of not really, and it's about how he's like, I am no more important than anyone else, but they all have to buy tickets to see me, and like they have real fucking jobs, and I'm up here telling poop jokes, and I'm making all this money, and like they are working so hard to come see me do this dumb thing. Like, is this art? Like, art is dead. It's not. It just was like, it really resonated. I thought it was really nice, and very, very melodic and well performed as well. I think this whole album is like a live performance of his comedy show / musical stylings, and that was a song that I just thought was really ingenious and one that I very very much enjoyed. So I hope that they, are collaborating in more ways than one. It would be great to hear some music out of the two of them. They're two very talented people. And I know that, probably not going to be something that, what's his name? Our guy from Gladiator 2, Paul Mescal, listens to in a while.
Maybe not for a little bit.
Yeah, it won't be for him. Yeah. But maybe I'll give it a listen.
Oh,
I'm interested.
I'm sure. Yeah, the Phoebe Bridgers one is
great.
Because Chinese satellites.
Oh.
And we went into it being like, oh, this is gonna be real vibey.
I know, vibey and boring.
But it was kind of vibey, but truly, truly great.
Yeah, the songcraft was top notch.
I love Moorang in the chat says, I should say, I went in like a little bitch, and now I'm Damien Chazelle's little bitch. And truer words have never been spoken. Thank you.
We do know that about you.
Put that on my gravestone. Okay. All right. So
I think I've done enough on mine.
All right. So do we do 2 gay minutes next or Travis tracks next?
Let's do 2 gay minutes. I have a short one. I feel like I always say that, but I do.
Do you? Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. It's going to be short.
Okay. Let me pull up my little stopwatch. Okay. You ready for this? Is 2 gay minutes where one of the Matts rambles about something the other Matt doesn't give a shit about for 2 minutes and 2 minutes only. And Matt Palmer's going to start his right now.
As you probably all know, I am one to like a Bravo show. I'm also one who hopes that there will be more non-straight people, more gay people, more queer people on these Bravo shows. And I will say in the shows that I'm mentioning, The Valley and also the new New York show, the Next Gen NYC, there are queer people and I'm happy they're there. I do feel like there is still a problem in which they are relegated to side character status, and like all of Zach's commentary on the Valley reunion for some reason was like, you didn't even see his mouth move. You would have to get the words at the bottom of the screen pop up. No one would react to him. I'm like, is he really saying all these things under their breath? Or are you just using him as like a gay, like, oh, I'm the aside guy. I'm just going to say things basically to the camera. Like, we need to have the gay people in the mix more. And I believe that was more of an editing mistake. I will say Brooks Marks on Next Gen NYC, you cannot be on a Bravo reality show and have your whole storyline be, I hate confrontation. I love you, but that's truly the log line. If you're going to say, if you're a cast member on a Bravo show, you have to confront. That's the whole thing. And so while they would do dumb editing things like when people were getting in fights at the table, we'd just zoom in on Brooks not saying anything and he'd have voiceovers of like, I wonder if a shark is close right now. And like, just like random asides and random like nothingness that has nothing to do with the actual story of the scene. And it's like, okay, I'm glad there are gay people here. I'm glad there are queer people here, but let's get them actually involved in the action and not like the aside people, not like a wink to the camera. Like, it's not like they're just the joke of like, oh, don't you get me? It's like, no, they need to be involved in the show, in the drama. Zach is very much, so I feel like he's just gotten edited weirdly. But Brooks, I like you. I think you're a nice kid. It's got to do a little bit more in season 2.
All right. Well, you have 15 seconds left.
All I have.
That's all you have. You've done enough.
Yes.
Okay. So, I guess we'll do mine.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Here we go, guys. I have more Big Brother information.
No, you talking about Big Brother during this segment of the podcast?
Hey, guys, what can you do?
It's never happened before.
It was fun. It was fun stuff that happened this week.
All right.
So, yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
This week ended with Mickey having what everyone's calling one of the worst HOH reigns in history after she backdoored one of her closest allies, Jimmy, fully committing to a new alliance for her, Morgan, Zach, and Vince, an alliance she also doesn't fully trust either, but okay. When Jimmy was nominated, his whole character of wisecracking, drag race, quoting badass disappeared, and he was just sad and gay. It felt so real and so vulnerable, and it made all the viewers feel for him, but he didn't have much fight left in him. During the eviction, Riley won the blockbuster, leaving Kelly and Jimmy on the block. Rachel made the rounds, rushing to talk to everyone to beg them to try to save Jimmy. Ava and Will simply said they couldn't. But in the hallway in between voting, Rachel begged Ashley to be a vote to save Jimmy. Ashley entered the diary room and struggled. Then she said, I vote to evict Kelly. She left the diary room, crossing paths with Will. She seemingly talked to Will how she voted. Will seemed shocked and horrified, and I'm assuming told her that was a bad idea and you're going to be in the minority, girl. So Ashley did something that has never been done before on Big Brother. She ran back into the diary room and yelled into the microphone, I'm sorry, I messed up. I meant Jimmy. I meant to evict Jimmy. I vote to evict Jimmy. And then ran out to Julie going, no. Then as Will entered awkwardly, you saw Julie Chen clench her jaw, take a deep breath, and probably thought to herself, I hate these fucking people. After voting was over, Julie clarified to the audience with disdain in her voice to clarify Ashley's first vote to evict Kelly still stands. After Jimmy left, everyone was like, I wonder who the second vote was to keep Jimmy was. And Ashley was like, yeah, me too. I don't know. And we as the audience don't know yet if she knows she was officially that second vote.
30 seconds.
This week's HOH is going splendidly, though, because who do you think won HOH, Matt Palmer?
Ashley?
Ava Pearl won and simply was like, hi, I'm going after Vince and Zach. No one can sway me. Have a nice day. The target may switch to Morgan if she has to renominate someone. However, she also doesn't know that Zach has a special $10,000 veto power that he can use to save himself. So that can mess things up for Ava, having to maybe renom 2 people instead of 1 if the regular veto is used. But in any case, the fans are finally being treated to an HOH drain that isn't a disaster. And also, Vince is dressed like a hard-boiled egg.
2 minutes. How does one dress like a hard-boiled egg?
It was a punishment for the veto competition.
Oh, yes.
And it's like the best punishment costume ever. And so for an entire week, he has to be dressed like this giant hard-boiled egg, and he can't move, really. It's great.
That's pretty
The
funny.
show is insane. But yeah, that's that. Did you catch all of that?
I did.
Oh, no,
wow.
you didn't. Shut the fuck up.
Wow, what a moment.
Wow, it was like truly, when she ran back in that diary room, you psychopath. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Yes.
All right. Do we do Travis Tracks?
Let's do Travis Tracks.
This is Travis Tracks. This is where my roommate Travis, who doesn't know anything about pop music, reacts to a playlist that I gave him of pop songs he should know. And so we are on to 2010, 2011 era. And this is probably his most unsexy run. And so I was very scared. Because I warned him, I was like, nothing is sexy about this era. I'm sorry, you're going to feel things.
I'm like, what was happening in this era? I don't even remember.
Well,
I guess we'll see.
First, Grenade by Bruno Mars.
Love.
I know.
Love.
First thing Travis says, surprised to see a man on here.
Valid.
But very solid, catchy song with a bit of a twist, a cautionary tale of an unbalanced relationship. I love how he's starting to give like synopsis and stuff. But, you know, what happened in this era was Taylor Swift released an album that she wrote in its entirety. And so he just got a lot of songs from Speak Now. And I just figured, oh, Travis is going to hate all of these very unsexy songs.
Yes.
We get to Mine. He says, okay, I do really like this one.
Yes, Travis!
He says, what is there to criticize? That's a great question, Travis, because the answer is fucking nothing.
Fucking nothing. Justice for Mine.
I know.
The fact that she doesn't sing that in the Era Store, which we just watched the Era Store, so we're just learning
Speak Now era, the fact that it was paid such dust, Taylor, you're on my shit list.
That was the tough moment for us.
It was a tough moment. Speak Now, title track.
Yes.
He says, the lyrics evoke a very vivid image. It's kind of funny, honestly. A story of a desperate girl wanting to stop a marriage. I love how he's narrating. But it's just like, yes.
Yes, he's getting
Travis,
it.
He's getting what
I don't know if Taylor would call
at.
herself desperate in the song, but yes, other than that, the money.
But it's just like, yes, the story, the imagery, yes. Dear John by Miss Taylor Swift. He says, oh God, so sad, but still enjoyable. She's very much growing on me.
Look at him, a little Swiftie.
I get it now.
Wow.
Travis, the teenage girl in him is coming out.
Who would think he'd be Team Taylor and not Team Gaga?
I know.
I would have never ever said that.
Well, especially because Travis was kind of lukewarm on Fearless. But like, I love how Speak Now is the one where he's like, oh, wait, I'm kind of getting it. It's like, yeah.
God, he's getting it.
I know. Next one. Mean by Taylor Swift.
Classic.
He says, totally good. Not my favorite on this album, but very effective and catchy.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take that.
Next, we get to Enchanted.
You gave him the whole album, essentially.
I sure did, bitch. I didn't give him Never Grow Up. So.
Thank God.
Enchanted. And he says, beautiful song. When it first started, I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. But it's about someone connecting with someone for the first time and then becoming obsessed. Relatable. It's like, Travis, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Look,
I know.
he's getting it.
Then he gets Last Kiss. I can't think of a less sexy song.
I was going to say that'll be tough.
And Travis agreed. It's not sexy. He says, I think it's a bit too sad for me, but lovely.
All right.
Yeah. So I Last Kiss, if he liked Last Kiss, I would have been like, Travis, where did you go? like someone invaded your body. But
I'm impressed with how much he liked that era.
I know.
I would have never expected that.
I know the fact that he was into Enchanted,
Right.
Mine. I texted him. I was just like, you're coming around so beautifully.
I will say the fact that you could like Dear John, which is Dear John minor, and you couldn't like My All. Maybe he needs to re-listen to My All.
You know, maybe now that he's like growing and evolving and learning more,
we'll put him back on Butterfly and see how he fares.
Yeah, we're gonna go back. That'll be 2026. We're gonna revisit all the stuff that he missed.
Yes, I think that's great.
Yeah. Do you have a giving me moment?
I have a couple of short ones. Firstly, I will just say I finally finished the Bravo show, the Next Gen NYC show, and I do think it was very fun, very good. I'm impressed that Ariana, who is Kim Zolciak's daughter, is really appearing like the breakout star of that show. She's like her mom, that she's good at reality TV, but she's also so much more grounded than her mom ever was. And like she also is so good at giving an apology that's not like an I'm sorry, but, or like I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. She's just like, I did that last night and it was wrong and I should not have done it. And like her friendship with Riley, the fact that they are becoming friends again after like Kim Zolciak's daughter and Katie Burris's daughter were on Atlanta together as like 10, 11-year-olds, were very close friends. Then Kim and Candy fell out. They stopped being friends, never hung out again until they were both cast on the show. And now they're friends again. It's very beautiful.
Okay, we love friendship.
We love friendship. Friendship never ends.
It doesn't.
So that is very cool, very cute. I liked in the last couple of episodes that Charlie was less of like the main focus. He's clearly like still the villain of the show and like a mess, but it was good to see, okay, this show can survive without it being like the Charlie show and everyone just reacting to the crazy things he did, like Amira coming at Georgia because Georgia said like, well, your Ozempic must be wearing off. Amira was so pissed. And she was like, she fat shamed me off national television. Her boyfriend's a scammer. It's like, yes.
Okay,
it's like, all right, let's
him.
do it. Get him, Amira. I don't know. I feel like there are a few people I could like. I don't think Gia, who's Teresa's daughter from Jersey, really added much to the show. But generally, I thought I'm more interested in the show than I ever thought I would have been. Just hearing the log line, hearing like, oh, it's Kids of Housewives, watching the trailer. It definitely kept my attention. And 9 times out of 10, except when it was kind of like a few times, it felt like the kids were ganging up on Riley in a way that felt a little like problematic. It felt a little race based. Outside of that, it felt like the issues were very light and very fun and very like appropriate for their age. And it was just fun to see like young kids hopping around New York and seeing what their life is like versus what our lives were like in New York at that age.
Different.
Very different. Secondly, I watched a horror film last night. I don't know if people are calling it horror, but it was scary to me.
Okay.
Sinners.
Oh, you finally saw Sinners.
Sinners is on HBO Max, which is called HBO Max again. And I watched it last night, and I got to say, very much enjoyed it.
Oh my God. That moment, the music moment where we're going through in a theater. Ooh, that was incredible.
I did not see that coming.
I know.
I did not see that coming. And like, honestly, all of the twists that happen in that movie, Haley Steinfeld in general, what happens with her. And like, it's a dark one. Like it's not a movie you should watch if you're looking for like an uplifting, happy ending. I mean, I guess in a way it's happy, but like.
Did you watch the epilogue?
I did.
Good. Okay.
I did. Yes. That was in the future.
Yes.
I did. You're just okay. If you want to see all the people you fall in love with in the film, live happy lives after the film. That's not how Sinners ends for many characters. But I will say I was invested. I very much enjoyed it. And I honestly just love the fact that it's an original piece of IP that has made so much money and is so successful. And like, I feel like there's always this talk of like, oh, do we have movie stars anymore? Is anyone in this generation a movie star? And it's like, I mean, Michael B. Jordan's kind of a movie star, right?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like...
Kind of he is.
Right, I would say, like, but, like, I feel like the argument, like, oh, people don't just go see movies for the actor, which, like, fine, but, like, I think he is the closest we have. Like, I feel like he's especially
one of them,
in collaboration with Ryan Coogler, like, you're going to get a movie that you're very much going to enjoy, even if it's heartbreaking, even if it's frightening. And I very much enjoyed Sinners, and I'm glad I finally got a chance to see it. And it was not too scary for me. Again, I'll put in the substance category of films that like I didn't find that terrifying.
Okay.
Even though I did hear from people being like, tried to watch The Substance after you said it wasn't so bad, and I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I'm surprised you were like, Substance was fine.
That was fine. Because to me, it just was like, well, this is so not real.
I know, it's so absurd.
Yes, it's so absurd.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yes, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did. How did it work like on your TV screen? Because when you saw it in IMAX, whenever it was like a regular scene, like leading up to the vampire stuff, like it would be a certain aspect ratio, and then whenever things would get like the supernatural stuff would start happening, the aspect ratio would change.
It did the same.
It did the same. Okay, good. Yeah, I thought Sinners was great. I mean, the way it like, I love how it took its time building up the characters and the stories and everything. You know, my favorite part of Sinners is it's when the like white people they come knocking on the door and they're just like, hey, like like, we heard you guys are playing music and everything, and we just like wanted to play with you. And they were like, I don't know. And then they start playing their like Irish folky music and everything. And they were like, wait, this is kind of good. They were like, wait, maybe we should like let them in. Like they kind of like hit. So I was like, that's great. Yeah, Sinners is and that one sequence was just. Yeah.
Which sequence? The one at the end?
music sequence.
Oh,
like the full where we're traveling through everything. That's a very, very memorable moment. Yeah, so I'm glad you finally saw it.
Oh, and just some of the things that happened in that final vampire versus humans interaction were really hard.
You know?
And the thing is, I knew it's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it, but they don't show you one character and their ending. And I was like, they did not show us that for a reason, and then you keep watching and you find
like, oh, bitch.
Like, oh, bitch. Yeah. That's why you need to watch the epilogue, and so you'll see all the pieces will fall into place. Yeah. Also, that young man who played Samuel,
great,
incredible actor. What a voice!
Yeah,
what a singer! And apparently, Jackson looked him up. Apparently, he's like mostly a singer, and like this was his first role. This was like an introducing kind of casting for him. But like unbelievable. Yeah. You know, obviously we know Michael B. Jordan, unbelievable, and Haley Steinfeld does a great job. But that kid, 10 out of 10.
All the performances were very good in that.
Really
movie.
Great. Yeah. Oh, I loved Smoke's, I guess, ex-wife, the mother of their kid. She was, she was great. Okay, she was great. What's been giving you moments, Starling?
Mine is also a movie, but a different type of movie, a documentary.
Yes.
So I went with my friend Lauren to see. So Lauren, you know how like my number one is Carol Channing. Lauren's number one is Sherry Lewis.
Oh,
of Lamb Chop.
Oh,
Sherry
yes,
Lewis
I think I knew this.
Yes. And like she just like Lamb Chop and Sherry Lewis, that is her idol and everything. And so she heard of the Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop, which is a documentary that is out this year, just about Sherry Lewis's life and career and everything. And I knew very little about Sherry Lewis. Like I was just like, oh yeah, Lamb Chop and like Lamb Chop's play along and everything. But I did not know that she had such an extensive Lamb Chop career before. Like I knew she did Lamb Chop stuff before Lamb Chop's play along.
Right.
But I didn't know it was like decades and decades prior and everything. And it's just so interesting, like, because she was it was just like a fascinating watch because, and you realize, like, when you're a kid, you kind of take it for granted, like, oh yeah, it's a woman with a puppet and she's doing ventriloquism and you know, that's cool. But then like, as you're an adult, you kind of realize like, wait, she was a woman doing this variety act, like for decades that was so like dominated by men and so dominated by like a certain type of style of ventriloquism. And here she was like doing like a children's show and with these like sock puppets and everything. It was so completely unique and different. And it was just so fascinating to see how like her career started doing children's shows. And then when that became less popular, she then had to like pivot with Lamb Chop and start doing like other types of venues like in Vegas and everything in like the 80s, like 70s and 80s, where Lamb Chop had to be like a little dirtier, a little like edgier and everything, and how she had to like pivot her career with that. And because I always knew her as Lamb Chop's play along, and so I was like, oh yeah, it was probably always so family friendly.
Right.
So it's just like a truly like fascinating documentary about someone whose career I never really thought much of. I always knew she was talented, but I never knew how extensive it was and all the ways she had to possibly like course correct and try new different ideas with the same act.
Yeah.
Like throughout the decades. Like it's super, super fascinating and just like fuck, like just so insanely talented how these people can, because she would just have two puppets in her hand and they would just be talking to her, talking to each other, and it was just always her doing the voices.
How do you do that? I've never figured out
I'm good at like talking without moving my mouth and everything, but to do it that fast and to use such distinct different voices, it's just, I mean, I guess I would have to practice, but it takes so much skill and so much work, and just like she was just a very fascinating performer, and it's just sort of a genre that I never really knew much about in general. So yeah, I really loved it.
All right, great.
Yeah. Well,
guys,
I think we've done enough.
I think we have done enough. Thank you guys so much for listening to or watching the podcast. We'll be back next week with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.